Side glance to the outside post. Loads up. They are in the gate. And they're off in the United Nations. Pretty good start. Guerrero heads out for the lead. Twilight Eclipse is away well, too. On the far outside, Kygan with a forward spot. Going to get stuck a bit wide as they make that turn into the first of 3 turns in the UN. Twilight Eclipse in front, Kygan running in second. And here comes Side Glance on the far outside, racing up to be third. Manchurian High gets a good spot in behind the speed from 4th. Then it's Winning Cause running in 5th by 3. Guerrero down inside 6th. Exclusive Strike, Charming Kitten. And at the back, it's Main Sequence about a dozen lengths behind as they come into the stretch for the first time. And here's Side Glance. Side Glance out to be the leader and opens up to lead by 2. Twilight Eclipse down inside running in second, and Kygan on the outside in third. The first quarter reasonable for the 11 furlongs in 24 and 4/5 seconds. So it is Side Glance who takes the field into the clubhouse turn. Twilight Eclipse on the inside of Kygan. They're still second and third. Manchurian High, 2-path into that turn from 4th. Guerrero down inside 5th. Exclusive Strike follows that one around the turn. Then it's Winning Cause, Charming Kitten at the back with Main Sequence. They head for the backstretch run, and Side Glance really trying to back down this pace. The first half was 49 seconds flat. Kygan is just 3/4 of a length behind, second and outside. Twilight Eclipse drafting in behind from third. Manchurian High, a long shot chance on the outside in 4th. And then it's Winning Cause, Guerrero. Main Sequence is making some progress on the far outside. Is going to get stuck 3 wide of the far turn run. Meanwhile, Paco Lopez saving ground with Exclusive Strike and steps on it. Here's Exclusive Strike quickly up into contention. Charming Kitten is at the back, but it's a tight pack round the far turn. Side Glance in front, still there. Kygan now call on for more speed in second. Twilight Eclipse down inside in third. Winning Cause, Manchurian High, Main Sequence, Charming Kitten swings 5 wide. Exclusive Strike saves all sorts of ground. Top of the stretch for Side Glance. Twilight Eclipse coming on strong. Here's Twilight Eclipse on the outside and Kygan. Exclusive Strike nowhere to go. Farther out, Main Sequence down to the final 16th. Exclusive Strike reaching out for the wire. On the outside, here's Main Sequence. Main Sequence surges to win it, making his North American debut in a big way over Twilight Eclipse in second, Winning Cause and Side Glance. Photo finish. Number 5, Main Sequence was first. Number 3, Twilight Eclipse was second. Number 10, Side Glance was third. Number 8, Winning Cause was fourth. The time was 2:14 and 1.
They're in the gate. And they're off. And a tardy start there for Main Sequence. He spotted the field several lengths. Slow beginning for Main Sequence. Imagining pokes his head in front early on here with Prado Ole holding his position at the rail. War Dancer third, and he tucks in behind the early leaders. Then on the outside, it's Twilight Eclipse, followed by Amira's Prince. And on the outside goes Main Sequence, who started last, and Perfect Timber trails the field in the early stages here. So they make their way toward the stretch for the first time here. And Imagining had to take the outside route round the first turn as Prado Ole held that spot. Twilight Eclipse up close on hold, and now third. War Dancer following Prado Ole, who has conceded a clear lead to Imagining now with a lap remaining. So it is Imagining now on an uncontested lead. A headstrong Twilight Eclipse edges up now to be second. Prado Ole third toward the inside. And a very comfortable War Dancer runs along in fourth. And the pace has been a strong one, 47 seconds flat. Very strong at this distance for the opening half mile. Farther back in the field, Amira's Prince is now fifth. Main Sequence, and the trailer is Perfect Timber. So the field making their way toward the backstretch now. Imagining well in the grasp of Joel Rosario. They tried to slow that pace down. Indeed they did. 3/4 now in 12 and 3. Twilight Eclipse velcroed to the hip of Imagining. And then it's Prado Ole running along in third. And War Dancer has been guided to the outside for clear running as they approach the far turn. And then it's Amira's Prince now fifth toward the inside. Main Sequence and Perfect Timber as the field moves into the far turn. And Imagining keeps rolling along on the lead. He's now in front of length as the field hits the far turn. Twilight Eclipse now is sent after him. Now running second. War Dancer gaining momentum on the outside. And then Prado Ole down toward the rail. Main Sequence is coming powerfully on the outside. And Amira's Prince is in behind horses as the field turns for home. Imagining and Twilight Eclipse going at each other. It's Imagining digging down deep, and he's a stubborn foe today. Imagining holding on to that lead. Twilight Eclipse has had the length of the stretch to get by him, and Main Sequence fires very late in the game. Coming down to the finish, Imagining, Main Sequence, here's the finish. Main Sequence got there. A hesitant start and a powerful finish for Main Sequence. Defeating Imagining narrowly, Twilight Eclipse was third.
They're in the gate. And they're off. From the inside, Twilight Eclipse and Imagining. And on the outside, there's Real Solution and Medal Count. As they come by the stands for the first time, it's Imagining with a narrow lead over Real Solution. Medal Count races in third, and Twilight Eclipse is next in fourth. Main Sequence fifth in the early going, with Big Blue Kitten in sixth, and Hangover Kid, the long shot, is the trailer in seventh. They're moving for the clubhouse turn, and it's Imagining, the leader here. Imagining over Real Solution and a Medal Count. Twilight Eclipse saving ground down on the inside in fourth. Then comes Main Sequence in fifth, followed by Big Blue Kitten, and Hangover Kid remains the trailer. Imagining leading here by 3/4 of a length over Real Solution. The quarter went in 26 and 2, the half mile in 50 and 4. Imagining leads the field onto the backstretch and is in front by almost a length. Real Solution second by a length. Twilight Eclipse down at the rail. Medal Count on the outside. Those two right together, third and fourth. Main Sequence is fifth, about 5 lengths from pace-setting Imagining. That is Big Blue Kitten in sixth, and Hangover Kid at the back. 3/4 in 1:15 and 2. They continue up the long Belmont backstretch, and Imagining is holding on to the lead here, with Real Solution continuing to track in second. Medal Count on the outside, and then Twilight Eclipse now getting a bit closer. Main Sequence is still in fifth, about 4.5 from the front. Then Big Blue Kitten and Hangover Kid, and they're racing around the far turn. Imagining has been in front right from the start. Real Solution has chased the entire way. Main Sequence is beginning to pick it up and is splitting horses and is coming on into third now. Twilight Eclipse down at the rail. Then Medal Count, Big Blue Kitten, and Hangover Kid, and the field is at the top of the stretch. Imagining, Real Solution. Here's Main Sequence on the outside, and Twilight Eclipse looking for racing room down towards the rail. Imagining, Twilight Eclipse now coming on through, and Main Sequence is there. Big Blue Kitten on the far outside. It's Main Sequence and Twilight Eclipse. Those two down to the wire in a thrilling finish that goes to Main Sequence. He's won 3 straight Grade 1 stakes since coming to the U.S., and he's done them all in photo finishes. Main Sequence defeats Twilight Eclipse.
They're off in the Breeders' Cup turf, and it's Twilight Eclipse who started well, and on the inside comes Telescope. These two with early speed, and Imagining is going to get by them now, and Imagining and Brown Panther now go up, and they're going to grab the lead as they race down the hill. It's Imagining, the early leader, and then Brown Panther, Star Spangled Heat, a long shot goes up on the outside to set the pace. Hardest Core is wide on the turn, running in fourth. Telescope is saving every inch of ground. He's getting a great trip so far. He's fifth on the inside, ahead of the other European favorite Flincher. In behind them comes Twilight Eclipse, then the free-spirited filly Chiquita, who is fine as they cross over the main track for the first time. And then comes Main Sequence on the outside. A break of another 2 lengths back, and then comes Finnegan's Wake. Big John B is next, and last of them all is Hangover Kid. A half mile in 47 and 3/5 seconds, and racing across the track are Star Spangled Heat, Imagining, and Hardest Core, and they're all right together with 1 lap to go. And Telescope is running in 4th position, and he's saved ground every inch of the way so far. Brown Panther's alongside in 5th. Flincher is 6th outside of horses. Chiquita 7th and right on the rail, and she's racing 5.5 lengths off the lead. Then Twilight Eclipse, Main Sequence to the outside, Big John B, Finnegan's Wake, and last of them all, Hangover Kid. Now the pace is quickened. 3/4, 1:11 flat, and Hardest Core and Ari Louis Vaz have taken up the running, and now they're in the clear by 2. Star Spangled Heat is second, Imagining taken to the outside in third. Ryan Moore continues to have a strong hold of Telescope. Telescope is 4 lengths off the lead as they race for the turn. Brown Panther is just to the outside of him, and then comes Chiquita. Chiquita's got 5 lengths to make up. Flincher is in the hunt too. He's 6 lengths off the lead as the field rounds the far turn. Hardest Core is the leader by 1.5 lengths. Imagining is second, and Telescope has his sights set on the front runners. He's third, and now Ryan Moore is asking him to go, and they're into the stretch. Hardest Core, the rail is open for Telescope. He's got a clear view, and he comes through on the inside, and Flincher is on the attack too. Chiquita and Main Sequence on the far outside, and here he comes. Main Sequence forging to the front. A perfect year for Main Sequence. Flincher was second, Twilight Eclipse was third, then it's either Telescope or Chiquita. John Velasquez and Main Sequence have and a Marketeer, the last one. They're all in line. They're racing in the McDermott. And it's Change of Command who goes straight out to take the early lead. Twilight Eclipse is away running in second. Divine Oath on the outside, and Money Talker is down toward the rail as they move into the turn. And then it's Marketeer, Arctic North on the outside, and Main Sequence is going to race on the rail, 4 lengths off the lead, unhurried early on. Shiva Ryan at the back of the field. And they're going along at an easy pace in the early stages here as Change of Command takes the early initiative and turns into the stretch for the first time in front. Runs an opening quarter in 26 seconds flat. And then it's Twilight Eclipse second. Divine Oath on the outside. Money Talker is next. And then comes Arctic North. Main Sequence getting a slow pace in front of him today. He's 6 lengths off the lead. Marketeers on the outside, and Shiva Ryan trails the field. 1 lap to go. And Change of Command is the leader. Change of Command heads Twilight Eclipse into the turn and went 50 4/5 seconds for the first half mile. Change of Command a length and a half. Opens it up to 2 now. Twilight Eclipse is second. Money Talker third. Divine Oath fourth on the outside. And then comes on the outside Arctic North. And on the rail, Main Sequence is now 5 lengths off the lead, but still unhurried and comfortable. 3.5 lengths more to the maiden Marketeer and the long shot Shiva Ryan. And they're on to the backstretch now, and they're still in pursuit of Change of Command and Gabriel Saez. They've led all the way through 3/4 in 1:16 flat. And Twilight Eclipse is a length and a half behind, running in second. Divine Oath is third. On the rail, it is Money Talker. And now Main Sequence begins his move. He's coming outside of Arctic North. He's been guided off the rail by Rajiv Mirage, and he's still 5.5 lengths behind. And Change of Command is still the leader. Around the far turn, Change of Command 3/4 of a length. Twilight Eclipse getting closer. Here's Divine Oath on the outside. Here's Main Sequence 4 wide, and here he comes now as they move to the top of the stretch. Twilight Eclipse takes on Change of Command. Main Sequence is in the middle of the course, but he's got work to do. Twilight Eclipse is the leader. Main Sequence is coming. Change of Command's on the rail. It's Twilight Eclipse, and here comes Main Sequence. Oh, and he just runs right on by. And a champion returns in glory. Main Sequence has defeated Twilight Eclipse again.